The call into the void before we dive in, drop a hi in the comments. It seems small, but it helps YouTube share this story with more sci-fi fans like you. And I want to know who's watching Commander Zethar's footfalls echoed through the softly lit corridors of the research ship, Serenity's Edge. Every step a silent mantra against the unease building in her gut. She passed scientists from 12 worlds, each absorbed in their studies, blissfully unaware of the storm waiting outside their windows. Zethara, a Valani by birth and an explorer by heart, believed in peaceful missions, not war. Her people, blue-skinned and tranquil, had built their civilization on learning and diplomacy, not bloodshed. But peace, she knew, was only the absence of conflict, never a guarantee. A chime echoed through the ship. "Commander, we're picking up strange readings ahead," called out Krim, her navigation officer, from the bridge. "Yes, Tara's picking." She swept into the command pit where Krim's insectile arms danced across the controls, multifaceted eyes wide with confusion. "Energy patterns, Commander. Nothing like I've seen before. It's artificial massive, but hidden. The computer can't identify the source." Zathara nodded at Dr. Eula, her chief scientist. Eula's fur was standing on end, a sure sign of excitement or dread. "Whatever's out there has been dormant a very long time," Eula said, voice trembling. "But it's waking up." Zathara's gut tightened. "Take us closer, but keep distance. Full sensor suite. I want to see what we're dealing with." The stars wheeled past as Serenity's Edge crept forward. The object appeared as a faint outline at first, then resolved into something vast. An ancient 10 times the size of their ship, floating alone in the interstellar dark. Its hull, shaped like a metal flower, was covered in alien glyphs that glowed faintly, as if illuminated by memory rather than light. The crew fell silent as the screen filled with its alien beauty and quiet menace. "I'm reading massive energy buildups," Dr. Eula whispered. "It's waking up, and it's armed." A moment later, beams of light leapt from the structure and wrapped around the research ship, locking it in place. The hull groaned as powerful forces dragged them forward. Krim slammed controls. "We're caught tractor beam. I can't break free." Zethara steadied her voice. "I'll stop. Don't fight it yet. Let's see what it wants." The ancient structure pulled them closer. Weapons ports hundreds opened along its arms, glowing like the eyes of a waking beast. Alarm shrieked as energy built in its heart. "Commander, those are weapons." Warren Brerall, the security chief. "Old, but operational." "Can we communicate?" Zethara asked. Dane, the communications officer, shook his head. "I'm trying every frequency. It's not interested in talking." Without warning, the first energy beam slammed into their shields. The ship shuddered, sparks flew, and the bridge dimmed. "Shields down to 60%, Krim reported, voice tight. "Another hit like that, and we're done." "Our weapons are for clearing debris, not fighting," Brill reminded her. The next shot dropped their shields to 30%. Zethara stared at her people scientists. "Explorers, none ready for a fight. Send a distress call. All frequencies, including restricted channels. Do it now." Dane's hands hesitated. "Commander, restricted channels reach dangerous worlds. We'd be inviting predators?" "We're out of time, Thane. Anyone needs to help us." Among the frequencies sent was one long marked as forbiddance. It spiraled away from the dying ship, a digital flare for help, all the way to a small blue planet on the galactic fringe Earth, light years away. In the Sol system, Lieutenant Commander Jake Morrison finished the last of his coffee on the bridge of the Iron Volf. The ship, a wedge of battered armor and defiance, patrolled the edge of human space. Communications Officer Corporal Danny Wright peered at his console, eyebrows climbing. "Sir, weird signal here." "Distress call definitely not human," Morrison set his mug down. "Let's hear it." "Right, ran it through translation. Help. Use. We are trapped and dying. Please, anyone who can hear this, help us." Dr. Lisa Grant, the ship's science officer, leaned in. "This is real. First non-human signal I've seen in my career. Morrison knew his orders patrol. Don't interfere. But his oath was clear. Help those in need. Plot a course. We're going. The Iron Wolf's jump engines flared as Morrison briefed his crew. Sergeant Maria Santis, munitions expert, grinned at the prospect of action. We helping aliens now, Skipper. We help anyone who needs it, Morrison replied. That's what humans do. No one objected. The battered warship turned from its patrol and plunged into the unknown. Toward a call that would change history. 6 hours later, the Iron Wolf dropped from hyperspace into chaos. The ancient structure dominated the void, firing precision blasts. At a much smaller ship, its shields flickering, hull battered. Morrison snapped into action. Open a channel. Try to contact the smaller ship. Maria, target the artifact's weapons. Let's draw its fire. As the Iron Wolf engaged, the first beam slammed into its hull. The human ship rocked, but the armor held. Shields at 80%, Wright reported. Surprised, Morrison smiled grimly. This ship was built for hell. We'll show them what a Hellworlder can do. On board the Serenity's Edge, Commander Zithara watched in awe as the new ship took hit after hit, refusing to die. For the first time, hope flickered in her chest. The humans had arrived. Asterisk, first contact under fire. The battle in orbit raged. The artifact, older than memory, seemed to adapt to each assault, its weapons. Learning, its fields tightening. But for every bolt that hammered the Iron Wolf, the human ship answered with force. Missiles and energy beams hammered the ancient metal, scoring the artifact's hull and forcing its weapons to retarget again. Aboard the Iron Wolf, Sergeant Santis was in her element, shouting orders, rerouting power, and launching. Countermeasures. Incoming fire. Sector 4 deploy chaff. Explosions blossomed on the ship's hull, but repairs were already underway. Nanobots sealing microfractures and Marines patching breaches in armor. The Iron Wolf was bloodied, but unbowed. Morrison turned to Dr. Grant. Can you talk to them? Grant's fingers danced over her console. They're using Math Smart Move. Physics is universal. Within minutes, she established a crude translation system. Their commander is Zithara. Ship's badly damaged. Shields nearly gone. They're scientists, not soldiers. Morrison nodded. Tell them we're here to help. We'll hold the artifact's attention, have them send everything they know about the enemy. On the Serenity's Edge, Zithara listened as Grant's message came through, her heart pounding with relief. She replied instantly, sending sensor data and everything her team knew about the artifact systems. For the first time, hope kindled among her terrified crew, but the artifact adapted. Its weapons targeted the Iron Wolf with alarming accuracy. Shields flared, warning klaxons sounded, but the human ship fought on, refusing to retreat. As Dr. Grant pieced together alien schematics, she realized the artifact had a core control system deep inside. If we can reach the core, we might be able to disable the entire defense grid. But we'll have to board it inside as a maze of automated traps. Morrison made his decision. Prepare a boarding party. Maria, you're with me. We're going in. He sent a message to Zithara. Her crew scientists, engineers, never trained for war hesitated, but Zithara volunteered to join. It's our problem. We'll help you reach the core. Together, a small human-alien team suited up. Santis grinned at her alien counterparts. Stick close, follow my lead, and remember, if it moves and isn't us, shoot it. Zithara's scientists stared at the humans' brutal efficiency, their calm under fire, and for the first time wondered what it really meant to be from a hell world. The boarding pod rocketed toward the artifact, dodging fire, and slammed into a darkened airlock. Morrison, Santis, Grant, Zithara, and her scientist, Ela, led the way, cutting through ancient metal and plunging into the unknown. Inside. The artifact's halls were a nightmare of shifting walls, whirring drones, and ancient traps. As the team pressed deeper, the artifact's eye woke fully, deploying new defenses with every step. Morrison's Marines adapted on the fly, using explosive charges to breach sealed doors, jury-rigging force field from discarded alien tech, even using the artifact's drones as remote scouts. Zathara scientists, terrified at first, soon found themselves improvising alongside the humans, using their knowledge of ancient languages to disable traps, rerouting power with help from Grant's quick calculations. The further they went, the deadlier the defenses. Drones armed with energy lances, automated turrets, gravity traps that spun the corridors upside down. At every turn, human ingenuity and sheer stubbornness kept the team alive. Santis took a glancing blow from a defense drone, but shrugged it off, patching her armor with spare circuit boards. Eula used a fragment of alien crystal as a lens, disabling. A laser tripwire no human could see. "We're almost there," Grant said. "Core control should be just ahead." But as the doors opened, a new danger loomed. A shifting black mass, part machine, part something else, stirred. Within the artifact's heart, into the lion's den, the core chamber was a storm of energy and shadows. The artifact's eye, never truly asleep, had awoken in full. It greeted the boarding party with a distorted voice that reverberated through metal and bone. "Intruders. Access denied. Initiating termination." Dozens of drones poured from hidden recesses. Morrison shouted orders. "Circle up. Defend the scientists." Human and alien fought side by side, using makeshift barricades, deploying every trick and weapon they had. Santis improvised an electromagnetic pulse using scavenged artifact power. Cells, stunning a wave of drones long enough for Zathara and Eula to rush forward. Dr. Grant, typing furiously, tried to breach the IS firewalls, redirecting power away from the defenses and buying precious seconds. The entity at the core, swirling mass of data and nanomachines, grew aware of their intrusion. It began to project tendrils of energy, trying to take control of the boarding party's suits and gear. Zathara's scientist Eula screamed as her helmet display flickered with alien code. Morrison yanked her clear, smashing her helmet's cum. With his fist and freeing her from the AIS grasp through sheer grit and teamwork, the boarding party pressed on. Santis lobbed explosives, opening a path through collapsing corridors. Morrison led the charge, taking wounds and giving orders, driven by the unyielding need to protect his team. Zathara, torn between fear and awe, found herself fighting alongside the humans, her own people, emboldened by their courage. She used her knowledge of ancient languages to override a security panel, opening the last door to the core. They entered the heart of the artifact. The entity, now clearly a prison for an ancient malevolent, I tried to reason with them, offering knowledge, power, freedom. Morrison, undeterred, pressed forward. "We're not here for deals. We're here to shut you down." Dr. Grant and Eula, working together, located the AIS central control node. With the artifact's defenses closing in, the team made a desperate plan. Overload the node with combined human and alien tech, using explosives and field generators to create a self-sustaining feedback loop. As the countdown began, the entity screamed, flooding the chamber with data and electromagnetic force. Drones battered the barricades. Santis and Zathara's security chief Brera fought shoulder to shoulder, holding the line. The device detonated. A cascade of energy rippled through the core, shattering the prison's control and destroying the entity in a flash of light. Defenses shut down. The artifact fell silent for the first time in millions of years. The prisoner and the choice. The survivors staggered from the core, battered but alive. The Iron Wolf and Serenity's Edge floated in the debris field, both ships bruised but not broken. On board, crews cheered. The artifact's weapons fell silent. For the first time, the stars were peaceful. As repairs began, Morrison and Zathara debriefed their teams. "You fought well," Morrison told the aliens. "We couldn't have made it without you." Zathara, forever changed by the ordeal, looked at her human counterparts with new understanding. "We thought we were explorers, but we were just tourists. You Hellworlders showed us what it means to fight for survival." Grant and Eula worked to ensure the artifact's remains posed no further threat, sharing data and insight that would change both civilizations. Word of the rescue spread through the galactic community. For some, humans remained terrifying hellworlders, but for many, they became something new, a hope in the darkness. Morrison's crew was battered, but not broken. Santis, her arm in a sling, grinned at Zathara's security chief. Not bad for a first fight, Rockman. Brera rumbled with amusement. Maybe next time we use bigger rocks. The Iron Wolf turned toward home, carrying new friends, new scars, and a story that would change the galaxy forever. Hellworlders no more after. The ordeal, the bond between human and alien survivors, grew unbreakable. Zathara and her crew, now forever marked by their brush with extinction, spread tales of human bravery and inventiveness across the stars. Diplomatic envoys from once aloof. Civilization sent cautious greetings to Earth, where once there had been fear. Now there was curiosity and a spark of respect. The galactic community reclassified Earth from dangerous hellworld to essential ally. Humans, with their stubborn hearts and boundless creativity, were no longer monsters in the dark. They were legends, protectors, and pioneers. Zathara, Morrison, Grant, and Santis kept in touch, sharing knowledge and memories. On the anniversary of the artifact's fall, the crews of Serenity's Edge and Iron Wolf met on a neutral world. They celebrated survival, mourned the lost, and looked up at the stars with hope. Morrison raised his glass to Zathara. To friends found in the void, to the ones who answer the call. Zathara's eyes shone with gratitude and a new kind of courage. And to the Hellworlders, may we never forget what it means to fight and to hope. The stars awaited, brighter than ever.